Steve. Okay, so I'm going to go through your course site by content area. I know you've just done some of these things very simply, and that's totally fine. I'm just going to point out a few things and show you a little bit more about some of the tools, and hopefully this will be a productive time spent for you. First, you'll see we created a banner. I talked to you a little bit, I think, about banners for your course and how we could co-brand with UMI and put your brand in here somewhere, and we could even do a different color, but you said red was good, so we've had a little bit of this conversation, but Miranda makes these and she's real good at figuring out stuff. So don't worry that your title runs off. My computer's real small, and so I don't think on your screen when you look at this that the title will be truncated. I think it'll be fine, but let me know if it's not. Okay, so great job creating an announcement. The announcements is the content area where your students land when they come in, and so they'll see that banner, and then they'll see your announcement, whatever instruction you want them to do for the day. Announcements, you want to do three things: welcome and invite and instruct, and I think you have that whole concept here because of what you did, that you just want to give them an idea that you're glad they're there and get them excited about what they're going to do, but then tell them what to do. And assignments tab on the left is the exact right thing. To make a change here or anywhere in the course site now, you can edit anything. To the right of almost any title, you'll see a circle, and when you run your cursor over it, or click on it, it will open up a drop-down box. And so to edit this announcement, for instance, you would click on Edit and open that up. Sometimes in my announcements, I've been trying to get them to change the font to one size bigger, but we haven't gotten that accomplished yet. So sometimes in my announcements, I like to change the font to one size bigger, put it to a 4 so it looks a little nicer. You can also add color by changing the color up here if you wanted to. And it, of course, won't show until I would submit it. The real reason I opened this up is to show you that you can date restrict this. You can date restrict about anything in the course. And so if it's an announcement, you want to write the first week's announcement on the weekend before it started, you could write them and set them to open up in the middle of the night for each, so that they're there for the early birds. That's what I usually like to do. I'll just set them to open for about 1 o'clock in the morning so the early birds don't beat me in there. And you don't need to check this box to send a copy of this announcement by email. The default of the system does automatically send an announcement out by email, every announcement out by email, between 8 and 15 minutes after it posts. So if you post something and see a typo and you want to change it, you have time, but it will go out. So the other thing to keep in mind is that some of your participants may be new to online learning. I guess I don't really know that that's going to happen as much with your younger audience, but you never know. People who receive things by email and they read it sometimes get confused if they aren't seeing what you're telling them they should see. So a little bit of a preposition such as, once you're logged into the course site, you'll see white and red tabs on the left. Then that tells them that, oh, okay, I have to be in the course site to be able to see those, although it doesn't make sense to us, but it does confuse people sometimes. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you go. I'm going to cancel. I don't usually like to make changes to your course site unless I really want to show you something. Okay, so there's our banner back. And of course, at any time, if you want to see what your students can see, you can turn that edit mode to off, and you can see some of the things like these content areas that have this little box next to them. That means that the students cannot see those. Okay, course instructor, I see that you had written a paragraph of information about yourself. You gave your website, which is really great. I think that's really good. If you don't mind them calling you by phone, then by all means leave your phone number. If you really prefer that they email you, I'd say take your phone number out. It doesn't have to be there. It's up to you. Good paragraph of biological information, biographical information. On yourself, you just want to give them a little idea of what gives you the authority to teach on this subject, and then a little bit of a chance to bond with you, such as you have a wife who is a teacher and former counselor. That might be a bonding point. You have children, any kind of hobbies that you do. If you like to go to Sonic, any things that give your students an opportunity to bond with you through the information you give them. That's what you want to put here. Your picture looks really good. I will say that it does look a little bit skewed. It could probably be a little straighter if you will edit the picture offline to 150 by 150 pixels and then load it. It's the only place in Blackboard that it doesn't give you a chance to edit the picture after you load it up. I can't figure out why they didn't do that, but any place else you put a picture, you can change the size of it once you get it in there, but this one doesn't let you. So I found the easiest way is to edit it in advance offline. Okay, email your instructor just simply gives them a place to come in and email you directly. When you're the instructor for the course, I'll remove my name, so it will just come to you, although I will stay in as a teaching assistant so that I have access to the course and can come in and help somebody if I need to. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. Course materials, I saw that you had uploaded your course outline. I didn't open it, but I will now. Oh, great, you've got quite a bit done here. Okay, good. Yes, this is exactly what you needed to do. Just, each day, what you're going to cover that day, and you've actually started fleshing it out, which is more than I recommended in the skeleton in the assignment. So you've started thinking through, okay, here are the things they're going to do. They're going to view this PowerPoint. They're going to do this, and this is what it's going to look like. And so it'll make it easy to build that content in. Very good. Okay, that's my newsletter. All right, and you attached it. There's no concern there. Okay. In the course materials area, for every course we put in a course evaluation form. It's a very simple, generic one. 6 grayscale questions from agree to disagree, and then a last question that is an essay question where we say, is there anything else you want to tell us? And that's where we receive quite a bit of really good information and learn, things or feedback or testimonials. Those kind of things come in that essay question. If you want to, you can. We do ask that you deploy some kind of evaluation. If you want to, you can edit this and add your own questions. You do that through Edit the Survey. And we also ask that and you can add questions or change the questions. It doesn't really matter to us as long as we get some kind of way to collect some feedback. And we do ask that you deploy this course evaluation form at the end of your course and ask your instructors or your participants to take it and to complete it. And so you do that through Edit the Survey options. And you have to make the link available, yes. And then you have to, that's all you have to do. Or you can, if you want to do it early, you can set it to open on the last day of your course. So say it was a 2-week course starting on the 6th and ending on the 17th, you could go ahead and preset it to open that morning you can do it in the middle of the night, you can open it at 9 a.m. and then make a little announcement that says, I've opened this, I've put a course evaluation in the course materials content area, and if there's, and we would ask that you would please take it, that kind of thing, so that we can have some feedback. All right. I would say, too, that these tabs on the left, the titles of them can be modified. So if you don't want course materials, you actually can get rid of that and not even use it. Or if you wanted to, I don't know if you want to call it handouts, for instance, you could change it. Handouts. And you just click the green and that will we'll change the text in those. I'm going to X and not change it. Okay, assignments. All right, this content area is no longer empty, so you can delete this whole placeholder, get rid of that. There is a reminder there, though, to instruct your participants to read through the participant FAQs contact area somewhere in the first day's assignment. That's this content area. There's just a lot of good questions, things that people have, asked me over time and time again that I've put in here to kind of help. And it helps, you can't mess anything up. Feel free to explore. If you're having technical problems, contact Lisa. It's just that kind of general information. Okay, assignments, and you created a folder. Yep, that's good. And I noticed you created 2 links in here. This first one I think is actually, I think you may have created it as an assignment. That's my guess, under assessments. Or maybe I don't think you did it as a discussion board, because I think it would have created a link. Anyway, if you click on this, you'll notice it goes into an assignment. That's what makes me think it's an assignment. Text submission, write submission. I think this was probably just a mistake. But I can see where you may have wanted to give them points for doing this, and there is a way to do that if you want to track it that way, so we can take a look at that. Okay, text submission. So this, I think, is if you wanted them to answer a question as part of an assignment or do something as part of an assignment, you could create it as an assignment that they could respond to. Some instructors do use this tool. All right, I'm going to cancel that because I've already also checked this one out, and I know it goes right over to the discussion board, Introduce Yourself forum. Now, you're going to click right into the forum itself, and they need to create a thread to be able to see the instructions or to get started. And so back over here in the assignment, you'll want to say, look for Create Thread right here. You want to put look for Create Thread to introduce yourself to us. See the prompt for discussion, introduce yourself for us, something like that. Just a little bit of instruction. After like the 3rd day of a class, typically most people are getting it and not needing all those prompts and instructions and that kind of thing, but at least the first 2 to 3 days, I recommend even over explaining a little bit so that you're not then, you or I are not then filtering, questions through that maybe could have been answered with just a little bit of discussion. Just trying to avoid confusion. Okay, I think, all right, so discussion. All right, let's go over to the discussion board. So you noticed if I clicked here, it went into the forum. If you click here, it actually takes you to the list of the forums. And I would assume that if you're going to have a lot of discussions, you would end up having several forums listed down here. And this is the first one, Introduce Yourself. Now, I embed this in every course, and I just found instructors were not really knowing how to create an introductory forum, and so I just did the first one, and I've embedded it in the course shell. You can use it as it is. You can edit it and change it to questions of your own, or you can delete it and create your own thing. The only reason I recommend leaving it is I've written some helpful hints here, and those are, again, hints that give new learners some answers to some questions they might have based off of experience I've had. All right, you created a forum. That's all I needed to see. I had to chuckle because I had in my mind that we're talking about helping youth through developmental hurdles. And then I read this, Raise a Theorist, and I started thinking of it immediately in the frame of raise up a child in the way you should go. So raise a theorist, and then as I read it, I realized, oh no, you're saying give us the name of a theorist and his theory, and then discuss it. No, I just thought you'd probably chuckle at that because I thought that was funny. Raise up a theorist. I hope I raised up 3 theorists. Okay, very good. Sorry to be so silly. Okay, discussion board. is there. So some of these other content areas, like this presentations, you created that one. I'll go look at that in just a second. The live session information and access, that's entirely up to you if you want to use it or not use it, and you can just leave it hidden. Instructor info, you may have looked under. There's some things there for instructors, such as some videos on how to do a few things in case you forget, or the instructions from the course side that explain how to do things in case you need some prompts. But of course you may always ask me if you're trying to do something and just can't quite figure out how to do it, and I'll be glad to help you. Okay, let me peek under presentations before I go on. Okay, there are our theorists that we're going to raise up, and your PowerPoint. Yep, that I think you did. Okay, Chrome, of course, is going to open it in the bottom and make me open it, which I'm not going to at this point. I might take another closer look at that. There might be a way to, well, I know Miranda knows how to create these into videos so that you can play it as a video instead of a PowerPoint. So if you want some help with that later, I can sure have her help us convert that if you want to do it. It's kind of cool because then the video player's right here in the player, and then they don't have to have PowerPoint on their computers, because if you ran into someone who doesn't have PowerPoint or doesn't have as updated as a PowerPoint as you have, they can have trouble opening this type of file. So we can look at some different ways from that, and I won't take time with it now. Okay, so your presentations under here, that's good. Actually, it seems to me like your presentations may be the same as your course materials. So if you want to call it presentations and don't want this content area, you can take it out. You could rename this course evaluation and just make it available when you're ready for the evaluation or you can delete this completely. It's fine to me. The only thing I ask, I think we talked about this, is that the colors remain consistent and standardized, but as far as the text, I'm fine with it being a little bit different, because if someone's confused with, well, you're saying discussion board and I don't see discussion board, I see my discussions, I'm able to quickly say, oh yeah, fine, that's what I mean. But the red and white tools, the red and white content area, red and white tabs, are just really confuse people if those are a different color. So, okay, communication tools. These are just some of the tools in Blackboard that are available. Like achievements, you won't use that one, so you can hide it. Some of them are already hidden. And Blackboard Collaborate, if you're not going to have live sessions, you can hide that one. I do recommend leaving it open for the Blackboard Help, but if you're not going to use some of these tools, it's fine to leave them open, or you can hide them if you want to. And once they're hidden, they stay that way until you change it. And if you want to see what they can see, what your students can see, you just click the edit mode is off, and then it shows you just what they see on their screen. It's not all the gobbledygook that you see. Okay, websites, I think that's the last content area. This is just another collection place for websites. I've put a few in here that your students might need. If you don't want them, you're more than welcome to delete them out. If you have your own websites you want them to use as resources, there's how you delete. You're more than welcome to add those. These are just some that we've put into each course site as we build it. Okay, the other thing I want to point out is the control panel at the bottom. A couple of things you may want to be able to do. We can go over this more as we finalize and think through your real specific needs, but you may want to be able to find the files in the course. Anything you've uploaded to the course is found under files, and you have to click on the course number. And there are all the files that are in your course, in case you're looking for something. Evaluation is a good place to look. Under Performance Dashboard, you can tell the last time and the last day that a person has logged into the course. And if they've never logged in, the word never will appear here in this column. And Another good thing to know is the gradebook in case you do have quizzes or tests or your evaluation. Although we pull the evaluation results for you, but if you have tests or things you want to check on, then this is the place to come. Grade Center, full Grade Center. And then, of course, you and I are instructors, so we don't have our names listed here, but as students are added, then their names will be listed here. So that you can look at a student and then go across and find out whatever information you want to find on them. To see who's in your course, you might want to look under users. Of course, right now it's just you and me, but if you have 10 students in here, they'll be listed here. You can also get their email address from here if you want to email them, or you can get it under communication tools. All right, well, I think that's it. That's everything I wanted to show you for now. There is a help under Blackboard Help for Instructors, but I highly, you can use that if you want to troubleshoot yourself. Don't click on this contact support. Just email me if you need support, because I'll be much quicker to respond and be able to help you. Okay, well, Steve, great. I really hope this will start your brain flowing on what we can do together. We'd love to work with you, and if there's anything you need as time progresses, then please just let me know.